What's up guys, Mathematics going here, and today I'm bringing you guys an awesome new tutorial that I think you guys are going to love. And for those of you who want to get into filmmaking, you guys are going to love it as well. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a good, effective, pretty good in my opinion, blood hit, also muzzle flash, my bad. Now you are gonna need two things for this. You're gonna need Sony Vegas Pro. I'll leave a link in the description where you can download a 30-day free trial. And if you feel like buying it, you can buy it, or if you know how to get it for free, you can go on and do that. Also I'm gonna leave a link to where you can get some cool muzzle flashes and blood hits on this website. I'll leave a link in the description to that. So now you wanna go ahead and open up Sony Vegas. So wait for that to open up. Now keep in mind this is, in my opinion, pretty good muzzle flash and a pretty good blood splatter. Now for those of you that saw Gun Game and GTA, you're probably gonna agree with me when I say it's pretty good. It's pretty effective and it's gonna look amazing in your films. So once you open up Sony Vegas, you wanna go to File, you wanna go to Import Media, or if you're lazy, there's always a button you can hit. I just like taking a long way for fun. Now you want to get your clip. Now you want to shoot something where you have your actor and the person getting shot all in frame, so that the muzzle flash and blood splatter can all fit in frame. So once you do that, import your clip. I'm using an unused clip from Gun Game. Alright, so you want to drag, once you have it here, it'll pop up here. If not, make sure you're in Project Media. You want to go ahead and drag it down to the timeline. Now, I do this ahead of time. I'm gonna want to right click on this right here and hit Insert Video Track, and then right click again and hit Insert Video Track. And you'll see why we need that in a minute. So now we have this right here. I'm just gonna play through this.
And action.
So that's where I call action. So you're gonna want to split your click by, you can either click like this and hit S on your keyboard, or right click and hit split clip. So you're gonna want to delete the excess by right clicking and hitting D on your keyboard, or hitting delete up here. You want to go ahead and drag that over there. Now I apologize if there's a little bit of lag. It's because I'm recording a program with a program. So also I don't have the best computer, but it's good enough. Next you want to import your muzzle flash and your blood splatter. So go on and download those. Pause the video, come right back. So once you've downloaded those, you want to go to find where you have them at. I have all my editing stuff in one neat little folder. So I'm going to import my muzzle flash first. For this we're just doing a single flash. So I am going to use, I have a variety to pick from. You don't need a variety, you can just download one. Now the way I'm doing this, you are going to want to find a muzzle flash video or picture with a black background, or else this won't work for you. So I'm going to import this one. So once you have it, you're going to want to do the exact same thing. You want to take it and drag it to your timeline onto one of these video tracks. So it'll automatically create another track. So you're going to want to go to this track, right click and hit delete, or the D key on your keyboard. So now we're going to find the point when he shoots the gun. So I'm just going to,
We all knew I was gonna win.
so it's around here somewhere. Just wait for the frames to catch up. So it's about, I'm gonna estimate it at about here. So I'm gonna drag that right there. Now I don't want these audio, so I'm gonna right click and hit delete to get rid of that track. Now you'll see that we have this black all here. We want to get rid of that. So you want to go over here to this little button right here, and you want to click on it. I like to play around to see which one looks best. Now you can hit screen, that might be what's best for you. You can do add, which makes it a little bit brighter. You can use lighten, which makes it somewhat lighter but somewhat darker. For this we can use screen. I don't know what you'll want to use, whichever settings work best for you. Next you want to hit this button, advanced pan crop. If you don't see that, you're going to want to zoom in over here a little bit by hitting the plus button, or hit control on your mouse wheel up and down. So you want to hit this button, advanced pan crop. Now what you want to do, a little window is going to pop up. It may not pop up here, but it'll pop up. You can drag it around and bring it here. What I like to do right away is hit this, the magnifying tool, and then right clicking on here a couple times to zoom out. Next you want to resize it. Sony Vegas is different. If you go like this, it's going to zoom in. It's going to make it bigger. But if you go like this, it's going to make it smaller. Next you want to just rotate it a little bit. It all depends on how yours is, how your clip is. And I usually like to move it around with my arrow keys. So, just line it up. You don't want to make it too big, but you don't want it too small either. So I think I'm gonna bring this down a little bit more. And just rotate it a little bit more, and I should be good. So let's bring it, and that's good enough for me. Maybe just make it a little bit smaller because you don't want it too big. Alright, so line it up with the barrel of the gun. And now you want to go forward one frame, forward another frame, and then forward another frame to make sure it looks good. I always like to have this ticked on sync cursor, so that way this follows this cursor. Now this is just in case you need to keyframe anything, but I doubt you'll be able to do it since it's just a single shot. So now that we have that in, we have our muzzle flash. So right away we want our blood splatter. So I'm gonna do it so it comes in 1 frame, 2 frames, 3 frames, 4 frames, disappear, 5 frames. I'm gonna do it on the 5th frame. So now I'm gonna go to File, oops, cancel. I'm gonna go File, Import, but to make it quicker, we can just hit this button right here. It'll open up our importer. So now you wanna go ahead and find your blood splatter or your blood hit. And for this one, I will be using one I like to use a lot, and it is this one right here. So once you have that, you wanna go ahead and open that up. Drag it to your timeline right there where you left your marker, and you want to delete this extra track. So again, we have it black. Now, for blood splatters, depending on what you have, you may need to play around with some settings. I'm gonna try screen. Let's try add. Add makes it a little bit brighter. I like add. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to event pan crop, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. Size it down. Now I'm going to rotate this because I want the blood splatter to come out of him. So I'm going to bring this down here. Let me use my arrow keys. So you just want to line it up to where it appears that he's shooting at, or where you want your actor to get hit. Now I have a problem now. Mine is a little too light. So what I need to do, I need to make this a little bit darker. Alright, so now that I have it lined up, I'm just going to go frame by frame real quick and watch this over the blood splatter. Alright, so it comes out pretty good. So now what I want to do, since mine's a little light there, yours might be too, or yours might be perfect, depending on what you picked, or depending on how yours look. Let me try lighten. No, lighten will just completely take it away. So I'm just going to use add. So now what you want to do, you want to hit this button right here, video effects. Again, if you don't see it, you might need to zoom in. So you want to go to event effects, and you're going to want to find brightness and contrast, and hit OK. Click it, make sure you hit OK. So what I like to do, I like to bring the brightness up a bit. Now you're going to see this around. Don't worry, we're going to get rid of that by bringing the contrast up. Now already I'm starting to see that pop out a little more. So I'm just going to bring the brightness up a little bit more. Actually, no, about there. Maybe bring the contrast down a little bit, because we don't want it that bright. And already that's looking a lot better. So we're going to go frame by frame. Just let the frames catch up. If it does this means your computer's lagging a little bit and you just need to wait for the frames to catch up. Now already that's looking a lot better. I love how that's coming up. I'm just going to adjust this a little bit, because I want it more that way. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's how I like it. That's how I want it. So now what you want to do is you just want to trim everything to the end of your clip. So this is the end of my clip right here. Somewhere around here. Perfect. So next, all you want to do is add color correction. Now, in this tutorial I will not be teaching you how to add color correction, but in a future tutorial I will be teaching you guys how to download color correction packs and add color correction and stuff like that. I have a color correction pack downloaded that I use that I really like. So now if we go here and look at it again, you'll see that I added my color correction as soon as my frames catch up. So I got my color correction added. Now I want to make sure the blood splatter still looks good. Now I need to move it up a little bit because of the black bars that were added. So I'm just gonna move that up there. Move it over a little bit. And that's good. So I'm just gonna go frame by frame real quick. Now I'm gonna show you guys how to render it out. Now, assuming you shot your video in 720p with a high quality camera, rendering out should be pretty easy for you. But for those of you new at this, it may not be pretty easy for you. So what you want to do, once you have your clip rendered, once you have everything done and edited, you want to go to File, you want to go to Render As, and you're not going to see what I'm about to see right now. You're not going to see all this stuff. So you're just going to see a ton of this thing, and you're going to say, okay, what is all this? So what you're gonna want to do is I have this one saved. So what you're gonna want to do, this is the settings I use. I don't know if this is gonna work for you. You're gonna want to find the drop down menu, the one that says Windows Media Video V11 WMV. Gonna want to make sure you click the drop down menu. You're gonna want to look through these options. Now, personally, I don't see the difference between 720p and 1280p, so I just like to do 720p plus 1280p. It'll take even longer to render out. So what I like to star this one right here, 720p, 30 frames per second, I believe. So I like to mark that as one of my favorites. So I check this, and that's the one I see. This is just AVI. If you want to render out AVI, you would just do the exact same thing. Look for video AVI, and it's the only one there that you'll find. Now if you want to render out, if you know about all the different modes like MP4 and stuff like that, you can find whatever the one you want. But I like to use WMV, so I'm gonna click this one. Now if you have this checked, you're gonna want to uncheck this because you don't want to render just the render loop. You want to render all this right here. So now what you want to do, you want to go to hit browse. I'm just gonna save this to my desktop. And you're gonna want to call it whatever you want. So I'm gonna call it tutorial just for the lols. Hit save, and then once you have that done, make sure everything's right. You're gonna want to go ahead and hit render. Now depending on how long your clip is, or how much effects are in your clips, depends on how long it takes to render. Also depends if you have a good computer, bad computer, slow computer, fast computer. It all depends on that. How much space you have in your computer, how much space Sony Vegas is taking up for rendering purposes, tons of variables and how fast it'll render out. No telling. Mine's at 33% already. I'm assuming it's gonna be done any minute now. Now keep in mind to add a sound effect, it's basic, so I'm not really gonna cover that. Basically, if you want to add a sound effect in Sony Vegas, you're gonna want to right click down here and hit insert audio clip, and then just line up the sound with the Muzzle Flash so it pops right away. Or if you want to do it in a basic program like Camtasia Studio, you can do that too. Just add in your gunshot sound effect. But yeah, that's it for this tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, don't forget to like button below, subscribe button below, share this with your friends. I hope this helped you guys out a lot. In my opinion, I like making muzzle flashes like this now. I know my old ones weren't as good. Mine's almost done rendering, so you guys will be able to see the finished product before the video ends. Also, once it finished rendering, you're gonna see a couple options pop up, either open or open in folder. Open in folder will just open up the desktop folder or the folder wherever you saved it in, and open will just open up the video. You can also choose if you want to close this right away when it finishes. You don't even want to decide. You can always choose this, and right before it finishes rendering, it'll close it out. So I'm just gonna hit close. Don't forget to save your project just in case you have to come back and edit it. Right, X out, hit save. I'm not gonna do that. So just go on, find your thing, see how it came out. If you need to make any changes, go make changes. If I went a little too fast for you, just rewind the video. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys very much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, below, subscribe, and share with your friends. And as always, stay magical. Peace.